Hey, church family, it's Pastor Mark. Just wanted to record a quick video. A couple weeks ago, we walked through our vision for the church at the 8 o'clock service at the end of January. Then at the 11 o'clock, just quite frankly, we ran out of time. So I want to go over the vision for anyone who has not heard it yet, maybe who was there on the 28th at 11 but couldn't then get to hear the vision, or maybe you heard it and you forgot it. And so I just really want to review it quickly. And then if you have any questions, feel free to reach out and ask. So it's sort of predicated on Matthew 16. If you don't remember, so Jesus is in Caesarea Philippi, and he's there with his disciples. And the interesting thing about Caesarea Philippi is there is a mountain behind the city, a hill behind the city, and in one of those hills was a temple in which they would do sacrifice, sometimes human sacrifice, and they would then cast the body of the sacrifice, so the animal or the person, into the hole behind the temple, and it was actually nicknamed the gates of hell. So when Jesus asked his disciples, "Who do the crowd say I am?" and they said, well, some will say John the Baptist, which is just kind of weird, but others will say Elijah or one of the prophets. And Jesus says, well, who do you say I am? And Peter says that you are the Christ, the Son of the living God. And Jesus has this to say, I will build my church. This is Jesus' words. I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. Now, I think most people in their attitude towards the world have an attitude of fear and defensiveness. And so, gates are a defensive weapon. They're not an offensive weapon. You don't take your gates with you into battle. You use your gates to protect your home city. And so Jesus says the gates of hell will not prevail against the church. And so instead of us being on the defensive, we should be on the offensive. Now, we shouldn't be on the offensive in a way that's necessarily offensive, but we should not be afraid to push forward with the gospel for the kingdom of God, for his glory, to reach our community. And so I'm going to talk through now the vision. And so the pastors and staff just prayerfully consider this. We presented it to different groups like the deacons, and they affirmed it. So by 2034, so this is a 10-year vision, the Avenue Church will be the catalyst for 10 new like-minded churches, and we will develop and equip intentional disciples. Now, last year we participated in the beginning of 2 new churches. And so we think that 10 like-minded churches is a reasonable goal over the next 10 years. So Iglesia Avenida is a new church, even though it's a part of our church and we're one church in 2 languages. In the eyes of our convention, it's a new church. And so we're going to look to see for new churches planted. We even have people who are moving to Denver to participate either with Pastor Jose in our church, or even in other sister churches, local churches, to start churches with one church in 2 languages. And so we're very excited about participating in that. So we want to be the catalyst for 10 new like-minded churches, and we will develop and equip intentional disciples. And so what we believe is one way for us to do that is through spiritual disciplines. And so we're going to intentionally equip you, the church, and this is something we feel like we can bring uniquely as a church or uniquely as pastors and staff into your life, and that is to equip you to pursue spiritual disciplines as a family, and families of every type. So a single person, a divorced person, a nuclear family, a blended family, empty nesters, a widow or widower. We want to equip you to pursue spiritual disciplines. To do so we have 4 things that we want to accomplish over the next few years, and that is debt reduction, leadership development, spiritual disciplines, and intentional connections. So debt reduction, our church has a little less than $2 million. And I read just a word of advice from another pastor who said, what is one thing holding your church back, and attack it? And for us, that's our debt. So the debt on the church building, the debt is actually about 20 years old. So June of this year, June of 2024 will be 20 years in the church auditorium, the sanctuary. And so we need to attack that debt and eliminate it. And so the Lord willing, in the next 5 to 10 years, we can do that. We can eliminate the debt. Leadership development, we believe that we'll need new leaders to help us to both practice spiritual disciplines and start new churches. Spiritual disciplines, there's a part of it, so we want to help develop spiritual disciplines in your life. And then intentional connections is we want to see greater fellowship within our church, and we want you to connect with people in your life who do not know Jesus. Now, over the next year, what are we going to do? Well, we're going to build on the foundation of existing structures. So build on existing structures. And so we feel like there's a lot of things that we already do as a church family that we can just take better advantage of to eliminate debt. So that's TGTG. So we just want to raise awareness of TG and TGTG, Tremendous Giving, Tremendous Growth, which is our debt reduction plan. And so we want to see that come to fruition. We want to leadership development. We have leadership meetings, so we want to become more intentional about those. We already have things like our app that you can do a Bible reading plan. And so we're in the middle of a Bible reading plan right now. In fact, if you didn't start when we started, that's okay. This Friday, you can open up the app, the church's app, go to the Bible icon at the bottom of the page, click on that. There's a thing that says plans, click on the plan, and you can start reading in Mark chapter 1. And you'll have missed Matthew, but it's better late than never, right? So then we want you to build intentional relationships using existing structures. And so we have some things that are coming up that we invite people to, like Tailgate Sunday or Extravaganza or things like that. So over the next 90 days, here's where the staff is going to focus. And we want your help too. We want to raise $50,000 in 90 days for Tremendous Giving, Tremendous Growth, in which 100% of your gifts to TGTG will go to the principal of the debt. 100%. We need to pay this off. We want to raise participation in leadership meetings by 10%, and so that we're developing more and more leaders. And we also want to make sure that it is absolutely worth your time. And so that's been a conversation piece among the staff. We want to encourage, implement, and practice daily Bible reading. And so if you have not yet, start reading one chapter a day in the New Testament on Friday, Mark chapter 1. And then we also, last thing over the next 90 days, is we want to leverage opportunities for you to invite a friend. So Tailgate Sunday, Extravaganza, Easter Sunday for the students, Disciple Now, for moms, everyday moms, things that are coming up, just all these things. We want you to invite a friend to build intentional relationships, intentional connections, so that we can see more lost people come to faith in Jesus Christ. Love you, church. Apologize for this going a little over 8 minutes, but I hope that it was clear and helpful, and that you understand better what our vision is for the next 10 years, and that you'll participate in it with us. God bless. Love you. Hopefully, see you Sunday.